Yeah, yeah. People also with the vaccine have also COVID-19. Yes, this is part of the unknown situation that we are. They claim it's a bit less, but to say it's a bit less, nobody really knows. On the other side, we have something like 25% of the new people that have COVID-19 are people who have vaccine. Okay, who took vaccine of the COVID, and they still have COVID. So, and also last week, 2 people died from COVID-19. One of them was a young man, 40 years old, and he never took the vaccine. But the other one, the 80 years old, he took vaccine, and he was vaccinated, and he died.
Two vaccine ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Still
Exactly.
die.
And he died. So
Pfizer,
really,
right? They get Pfizer, right? Pfizer.
we have Pfizer, yes. So we really don't know exactly still the situation. And if you're asking me, if it will continue in this way, I think that we're going to another quarantine in this atom very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon, yes. Now we are in quarantine.
Are you in quarantine, all of you?
We are under the condition of quarantine, maybe 14 days, maybe 1 month.
Yes, wow, you're also going to quarantine.
Tomorrow government said we quarantine 14 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Start tomorrow.
Wow. This is a surprising thing. Yeah. And you also did the vaccine and everything now?
No, we not easy to get vaccine, in Thailand.
Yes, it's not so most of the people didn't get it.
Yeah. Not easy.
I don't like Sinovac.
Yeah.
Sorry?
In Thailand, they bought vaccine from China, Sinovac.
Yeah.
Sinovac, the quality is not good.
Never take the vaccine from China. Yes, right. Never the vaccine from China.
Sinovac, not Sinopharm. Sinopharm is okay, but Sinovac is not good. But the government still buy it for people. Then I don't want to take it.
Yes, right.
And many people die because of vaccine.
Yes.
Yeah, Sinovac.
Oh.
I'm refuse any vaccine.
You're not refusing a vaccine. You're refusing a Chinese vaccine.
Yeah.
I think I'm strong.
I think so.
No need to take vaccine.
Yeah, if can choose vaccine is okay, but Thai people cannot choose vaccine. The government bought Sinovac from China for Thai people, and many people die because of vaccine.
Wow.
So poor.
Wow. This is something really
yeah. Dangerous more than COVID-19 is Thai government. Now you not record in YouTube, right?
I think we're in a good situation. Israel is in a good situation if it's like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry?
I'm just waiting for the country open. and then I'm gonna fly to Israel.
Yeah, Israel may be good for stay.
Yes, but the only problem is that today in Israel, they're not letting people to come inside. Also, Israelis who are coming inside, they're doing to them a lot of problems, putting them in quarantine and all of those things.
Not open.
It's not so easy to come to Israel today.
Yeah, and Palestine also fighting with Palestine, right?
They're all the time fighting with us. They
Yeah,
don't
all
accept
the time.
they don't accept the history that we came back to our homeland.
Yeah.
This is life.
Mm.
Fine.
Okay.
Let's learn a bit. Okay, let's go back and learn a bit. What do you say? Let's try to continue. If it's okay, we can learn something.
Party.
I think that I will say it like that. I think that the situation with the COVID showed us that when the world is deciding to combine together and to fight together against something that is very hard for the world is managing to do that.
Yes.
And this is giving some hope, because it's not if I will say that like that, if from one side, when we look at the situation, we know that the world have enough food that nobody will die with hunger. On the other side, we know that too many people who are controlling the world are doing their best not to put all the effort only about food, but also about weapons. And therefore, a lot of people still die because of hunger, right? So you ask yourself, what is the, I'll call it, what will happen with this world? You might be in a very hard feeling. So this vaccine or this COVID situation showed us that the world also knows how to reorganize themselves together and to try to defeat some sort of an illness, unshown illness. We can't see it, this illness, but it's happening. And if this is something that we are managing to reorganize ourselves, reunite ourselves together, so I'm sure that there will be also other things like that. And I think that today we see this also in the movement of the Noahide World Center, where we have lessons with people from all over the world. And some of the places also, some of the times are also sitting together. By you, it's really late now, right? The time now is 7 o'clock or something like that, right? Usually on Sunday, I'm giving another lesson at 8 o'clock Israel time, so it's another 5 hours. It's very late at night by you. And we have people from all over the world in those lessons. And also, at the same time, we have the Spanish lesson and the Portuguese lesson and the Indian lesson. Now we have on this time that we're speaking now. So we have, we see how we can reunite all of us together to a better place. I think this is
if the time we can join is good. If
I don't know the time. You need to say 8 o'clock in Israel time. What is the time by you? 1 o'clock at your time, right? It's a bit late. I don't care if you want to join this time. You can join it also. We have people from Australia this time. It's for them. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
You just tell us about the time, and then if we have, if we can, we join.
Okay, I understand.
And you send the invite.
Okay, fine. I will do this also.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's go now. Let's dive inside a bit to the things that we are teaching, that we are learning. Where is the share screen? If I remember correctly, we are in the middle of the chapter of the knowledge of God. right? We're learning the knowledge of God. This is what we've learned last time. We didn't finish this chapter. And this is the positive way, okay, to say that we are acknowledging God. The negative way is where we say that people do believe in more than one God. Like in the Christian world, they believe in God and they believe in Jesus, that he is also part of God. I don't know how logically they can speak like that, because logically it's not working, okay? But this is what they're saying. So we have people who believe in more than one God, and in the Far East, okay? I'm sure that you know few people that believe in more than one God. And this is a way that we're speaking about a positive way. It's not only don't believe in more than one God, but also the knowledge of God. The knowledge of God is the law of idolatry. What was really hard in the old days. And today we have it more in a gentle way through the Christian world. And we learned, I think if I remember correctly, we came to number 12, I think. No, tell me if I'm wrong. Just if I remember correctly, we came to number 12.
14.
14, maybe. Okay. Okay. דוקטור מומן, שלום, משהו דחוף? Hello? Okay, 14. Whoever believes there is any God ruling over the entire world other than the one creator of all is called a heretic, okay? Itinerarily, a denier of the root truth, okay? We're speaking about, if, for example, let's go to the Christian world, those who believe in Jesus. I have, from time to time, I'm getting emails from pastors who believe in Jesus, and they are feeling sorry for me that I don't believe in him. It's okay, I'm feeling sorry for them that they don't believe in the truth things, but the thing is that they really believe that God happened to come to this world as a human. Now, again, I don't know how you can logically understand this thing. I think that they also don't really understand this logically. And when they're explaining those things, they're explaining those things in a mysterious thing. If you don't believe this, this is a mysterious, you know? This is the way to explain this, where you don't understand. I know that God created us, all of us as human beings, and it's very important. God created not only us, he also created our logic and our mind, and everything that is related with the belief can't be contradicted with the science and logic, because it's not working together, okay? And God is not asking us to deny our logic. God is asking us to use our brain in the right things. There are those who believe in the old days that there are two main forces here, I will call it like that, okay? Two main gods, two main aliens. One is the good one, and the other one is the bad one. This is something logically. When you look around, you can see that there are things that are doing well and good in this world, and there are things that are working in a bad way. So the old Persian people, I'm speaking about 3,000 years ago, they created in their mind a good God and an evil God, good and bad. Okay, we do believe, and this is one of the verses that we have in Isaiah, that God created everything. He created the good, he created evil, he created everything. It's a big question about evil in this world, especially that we say that God is a good thing and he's doing good. But the most important point is that we need to realize if someone believes that there is another one or there's another main power except for God, So he basically is a denier of the root of the truth of root truth. This is a very important point, and I can tell you that one of the ways of going out from this belief is by praying to the source of the sources. I will tell here another story that we have in the department of the Spanish language. Our head of the Spanish language, he 10 years ago had a tool in the Amazonas. Okay, in the forest of the Amazonas, you know, there's a very big river there and everything else. And they met there all sorts of tribes that are very, very old tribes who don't really have any connection with the world. When they said that they are Hebrew people, those tribes told them, so you're not praying only for the God of the rain or for the God of the sun or for the God of the, you know, all sorts of things. You are praying for the God of the gods who are controlling everybody, right? Those are the words that they told them. And this is basically what is this halachic 14 is speaking about, that we believe in the God of the gods, with the God who gave, I will say, power to a lot of things here in this world, but he is controlling everything. And this is what we believe. 15, being present at or passively participating in an idol worship ceremonies is not forbidden to Noahide. We got a lot of times questions from Noahide people who are being asked from their families to help them, to assist them, to come, to take them to the church, to take them to idolatry worship, to be there, you know, when they're getting married or things like that. So a Noahide, it's not permitted for a Noahide to be, or it's not forbidden for a Noahide to be in those ceremonies. And here is something that we a lot of time explaining to the Noahide people, not to get disconnected from your family because you don't believe in idolatry. We don't believe in idolatry, it's fine. But if most of my family is doing now a ceremony and my sister or my brother is going to get married in a place where it's full of idolatry, and this is an idolatry ceremony, it's not written anywhere that I'm supposed to stop being his brother, his sister, and to have a fight and to bring a lot of anger to my parents and everything else, or to my family. This is not the way to work, or this is not the way to live in our life. I don't believe in those ceremonies. I don't believe in this Trinity. I don't believe in this called gods or something like that. But I do have my family, and I want to have a good relationship with them. And I will go to this ceremony, and they will know I don't believe in this, but I'm honoring them by being with them with this in this specific ceremony, because I love my brother, I love my sister, I love my parents. I'm part of the family. I don't believe in this ceremony. If I need to get married, I will do this differently. But it's not forbidden for an Noahide to be in those ceremonies and to start the big fights and everything else. It's very important to keep your relationship with your people, with your family. Okay, I hope it's clear. It's something that people don't really realize a lot of times. Sometimes it's starting us to fight with a lot of things because of their belief. Not so fast, do a breakdown in your family. 16, a Noahide who is forced to engage in an idol worship or is likely to be agreed for refusing to do so is permitted to participate and is not obligated to give up his life to avoid said idol worship. This is also another very important thing. As a Jewish person, if people will come to me, okay, and tell me worship idol, or we're going to, I will say it about someone else. Let's speak about my good friend, okay, that Christian people will come to him and tell him, my good Jewish friend, okay, that Christian people will come to him and tell him, or that you're worshiping idolatry, or that we will kill you. A Jewish person is supposed to give his life and not to worship idol. But an Noahide is not supposed to do that. So if you're getting threats on your life, and the only way of going out from those threats is by doing idolatry, you can say to yourself in your heart, I don't believe in this, please God help me, and do this idolatry, and that's it, and move on. You're not supposed to give your life for this belief or with this behavior. And it's very important point. It's a very important point to realize the difference between a Jewish and a Noahide person. So we spoke in 15 that you can participate, okay, you can be present, you can give your presence in a place like that when you have no choice, or when it's something that is related to the family. And in 16, we also said, even though you don't believe this, even though it's wrong thing to do, and you don't need to do idolatry, but you not need to lose your life because of the idolatry. Let's go to 17. And now, as you can see here with the footnotes, for everything here, we have the reference from where we took it. We have in the Hebrew library, as you can see here, this is part of the library. Okay? It's a very small part of the library. We have 80,000 books in the Hebrew library. Okay, but we have the main books, and the main books are deciding for us how to behave and everything else. And it was very important for us, for Rabbi Sherki, to take out everything that he's writing here, and he's showing how to behave. He's also giving the footnotes from where exactly he took it. So it's not something that is, I will call it, coming from his own wish, will, understanding. I don't know what. It's everything is related to the Maimonides, to the what we call the Shulchan Aruch of Yosef Karo, and to other important rabbis who guided us along history. Let's read number 17. It is forbidden to innocent others to engage in idol worship. Okay, we're not forcing others. We're not trying to convince others to do idol worship. We're not doing those things. We don't need to be part of this. We don't need to participate with those things in a way that is showing or encouraging others to do idol worship. We are against idol worship. I think that I'm not sure entirely. Maybe you will tell me. Okay. Do you know in Thailand examples of idol worship?
We worship everything except God. Except God, you know. Thai
Worship
people pray to
tree,
everything.
tree, ต้นไม้
What do you say? People are worshiping trees.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is
River.
their
Every
River.
tree. If the big one, big tree, huge
Oh.
tree, they believe, they pray.
what
Everything
is
that can get lotto can get the number for lotto.
no? I don't understand. What exactly people believe they can get from a tree that is holding for, I don't know, hundreds of years. Okay, a big tree. Why people are praying to this tree? What are they getting from this? What do they think they can get from this tree?
Their imagination.
Fine.
Some people use powder to the tree
for the tree.
for scratch and get the number by imagination.
What the imagination is telling them? What are they going to gain? What is the
The number for buy lotto.
The number of what? Of the years or something?
No, the number because they have to buy lotto. You know,
Bring the number to the bar lotto.
The number of the lottery.
Yes.
yes. You also you call lottery, right? Yeah.
Yes, they believe that the tree will give them the number of the lottery.
Yes. Everything that can get money from the idol, they pray because of money, and they think Thailand have the big one for take care of Thailand. They call สยามเทวาธิราช the name the biggest
the name
one
of the idol
in Thailand. They think they call สยามเทวาธิราช this one. The biggest in Thailand.
The biggest angel of Thailand.
No. And who is
And
taking
also
the money?
For get money and for protect, because the king and family royalty, they pray to สยามเทวาธิราช too, and because they believe สยามเทวาธิราช is the biggest in Thailand for protect Thailand.
Okay.
And serpent also they believe serpent ใช่ไหมหญิงออกเสียงถูกไหมพี่อึ่งพญานาค the big snake.
The big snake.
Big snake, serpent.
The big snake also.
Serpent, yeah, because they can get the number of lottery from serpent too.
Okay, amazing. A lot of imagination, as you said.
I think they แรงจูงใจนี่อะไรแล้วนะสังเกตเลยนะ
อะไรนะแรงจูงใจ passion เนาะ
their passion is like a get money. How the idol can give more the money they will pray.
I understand. It's amazing to hear those things. We are so far from this, so I don't really. We are really so far from this.
Yeah, so far.
And it's a bit related also to number 18. Look, number 18. Whoever prophesies in the name of idol worship and commands people accordingly is in violation of Noahide laws. And what you said now is that mainly people are trying through their imagination, but they're calling this not imagination. They're calling this, I think, more some sort of prophesize. Okay, they have a prophet to say those numbers and everything else. But this is idolatry, and this is mainly imagination. And we know that also from time to time, some of those things are working. Okay, so this imagination is getting even some sort of not proof, but strengthened from the reality. But all those things, it's also violation of the Noahide laws. I never thought that people can worship those things. How many people do you have in Thailand? You told me once.
70 million เนาะ70 ล้านนะใช่ไหมบุรินทร์ใช่ไหมแจ็ค
70 million
อะไรนะ
70 million.
How many people Thai people บุรินทร์70 ล้านไหม
Yeah, about 0 million. Yes.
60 million. I'm not sure.
So you have a lot of work.
Yeah, I have a lot of work. Nah?
You
For
have a
help
lot of work
people
there.
to know the
Yes.
truth.
You have a lot of work. In your language, you have a lot of work. Very nice. Fine. Fine. We have a saying, the Hebrew sages, we have a saying. From one side, you don't have the laziest, you can't be lazy with your work that God put on your shoulders. And don't forget that even if you won't be able to finish it, you need to do your best and not to be lazy. So we're speaking here today only about 5 people, but we have between 50 to 70 million people. So it's 10 million people per person here. Very nice. Have a lot of work.
Now in Thai people, they believe in Christ.
Christianity.
Yes, Christianity more than last time.
Okay.
They pray to God, but they also still pray to Jesus.
Fine. No, this is much easier. If you're speaking about those people, it's much easier. If you're speaking about people who have worshipping idolatry to everything, it's much harder because for them, those who believe in God and Jesus also, so the only thing that we need to do is to explain to them that Jesus was a very smart person. That's it. There's God and there's someone who was very smart. But he was a man, I will tell you a secret. With the things that are written down, he went to the toilet like everybody else. So he wasn't God. But but we need to be careful because a lot of people find that Jesus was someone who is giving them hope with the wrong behavior that they're doing. And what we need to know is that God is the one who is giving the hope, not Jesus. Okay. Let's read number 19. Let's continue on. It is forbidden to erect a monument, plant a tree, construct a building designed for idol worship, even if the one building or planting does not engage in said idol worship. Okay, so this is something that we need to be careful. If, for example, I'm an engineer, and people are asking me to rethink and to rebuild and to put on the paper all the content that you need to build up an idol place. And this is one of the things that we are trying to avoid. There are things that I'm not, I don't want to do. I have I will say, the possibility, the permission to decide in what things I'm working and what things I'm not working. So to help, to assist, to build up, to engage with an idol worship, and to help with this building or to help with this, to plant a tree or something like that. Those are things that I can say, this is not my path. I don't want to be in touch with this and I don't want to be part of this. And I prefer to work in other things. I can tell you that a lot of times this is some sort of a test that God is giving us. But those who are managing to stand still in those tests, God is bringing them after that more and more options of good things to do and much more, I will say, money and the establish of life here in this world. Now we're coming to a part that we called it a proper conduct. Those are things that are not 100% halachic, okay? It's not on the level that is you're not allowed or you're allowed to do. It's more on the level, what is a proper thing to behave? What is a proper thing of my behavior if I want to be a full Noahide? And if, people are not 100% keeping those things, it's not that they are not Noahide or they are passing on the Noahide laws. It's saying that they have still way to improve their behavior to become much more pure, I will say, Noahide person, okay? Many matters associated with idol worship are forbidden to Jews in order to distance themselves from it. We have a lot of things in the Hebrew tradition that we are very far from it. The Hebrew sages told us that we must go very far from those things, even though it's not an idol worship or straight idol worship. Such matters were not explicitly forbidden to Noahides. And Noahide are in a different place. I will give an example in a moment. Yet those guidelines are described below are fitting for one to follow to the greatest possible extent. Okay, so it is something that we are recommending, but there is a difference between recommendation and the laws that you have to do. For example, let's jump back for a moment to number 15, okay? To being present or passively participating in an idol worship ceremonies. And I gave an example that someone is going to a ceremony of his brother, his father, his brother, his sister, that are getting married. And it's being, this ceremony is also within a very big idolatry inside it. And I said that as a Noahide, you can participate because it's not less important to have good relationship with your families and you don't need to be against your family. Now, for Hebrew person, he is not allowed to be in those places, even though it's his brother, for example. God forbid, never mind. Let's go to a nice scenario, okay? One of the family decided to do conversion to the Hebrew tradition, and his brother is getting married in an idol situation. As a Hebrew person, he's not allowed to be there. He's not allowed to be in the ceremony. He's allowed to participate with the family, to have a good time with his family and everything else, but he's not allowed to be in the idolatry. And Noahide is allowed. So this is an example for something that there's a difference between the Noahide and the Hebrew people. So let's speak about proper conduct, those things that are not prohibited to the Noahide people, but on the other side, it's good, okay, to behave in this way, okay? Refrain from reading books of idol worship. For example, it's not that you're not allowed, or people are not allowed to read books of idol worship, but however, it is appropriate for Noahide sages who give instructions to those matters to read such books. So it is, the preferable is not to read those books. On the other side, we spoke in a moment ago that you are 5, 6 people here, 5 people who are going to teach 50, 60, 70 million other people. If you won't read and if you won't know the matters and the instructions inside the idolatry's books of your country, you won't be able really to discuss those issues with your, I will say, friends, with your colleagues, with the people that want to go out of the idolatry to you. So on one side, it is not the best thing to read those books. And for those who will follow after you, you will tell them not to read those books. On the other side, it is important that you will understand what is really happening there and to know what to say, what to speak, and how to take them out from this imaginary situation, okay? Here you can see the complexity of life. It's a bit more complicated than just yes and no, okay? Let's read another one. It is fitting to refrain from prizing idol worship, and even more so from decorating a display of it, or lighting candles to honor it, or engaging in any such related activity, okay? There are in the idolatry, and I think that you know that, for example, this thing of honoring lighting candles. You know that, okay? Those are things that we all know. Lighting candles to honor the idolatry or things like that, or I will say decorating all sorts of places with flowers or other things. Those are things that we all know.
How about Christmas? Christmas, I saw Israel people, they celebrate Christmas.
Now, what you see in Israel, in a moment I will refer to that. Okay, I want to finish first of all the fast of the 21. All of these concerns activities, not explicitly consulting idol worship. Okay, those things are not idol worship. If you're lighting candle for the honoring of this idolatry, or decorating the idolatry area. However, this is not idolatry. The idolatry is to bow to them, is to pray to them. Those are things that are not allowed. We explained this last week. But the things like lighting candles or decorating trees or decorating the places, this is not idolatry. However, activity explicitly constituting idol worship are entirely forbidden by Noahide law. So if it is a full idolatry, it's something that you're not allowed to do. If it's not full idolatry, it's not that it's not good to do it at all, but it's not forbidden of doing it. Now, what you see in Israel from time to time, that they are decorating the tree of the, how did you call it before? The tree of the Christmas, the Christmas tree. First of all, unfortunately, in Israel, because all sorts of reasons, I won't go inside to this, we have something like 400,000 people who are not Jewish people and are Christian people. And a lot of time what you see, mainly those are the Christian people that the Israeli government and the media and all of those things are trying to show that we are letting them to live in our homeland, in an honorable way. So you see some pictures and things like that. And those are usually what you see. I'm not saying that there are not from time to time also some Jews who are doing some mistakes and doing things, just to show outside, I would say it like that. But mainly it's not the Jewish people. Mainly those are the Christian people that we have also in Israel. We have, unfortunately, we have. But again, you can see here in the proper conduct in 21, how we're going in between the lines. Sometimes the reality is very complicated. It's not yes or no, okay? Life are much more complicated than just yes and no. Let's read another one, just a moment. Let's finish it. We have another two. It is best to refrain from cutting one's hair and brand in manner of idol worships and from tattooing or disfiguring the body in any way as they do, okay? We know that the idolatry people have all sorts of haircuts. For me, it's already passed along because I'm a bit, no, I don't have hair. But yes, usually they have some sort of haircuts. They have also all sorts of tattoos, all sorts of way with the body, how they're doing it. So it is best to refrain, not to do those things, not to get connected, okay? The same applies to making a bald spot on the head of the gashes on the body as sign of mourning for the dead. We know that there are all sorts of ways how mourning of deads, and we need to be aware from that. We need to be far from that. If coins fall from someone's pocket next to an idol used for idol worship, one should not bend down to pick them up. Okay, this is also very interesting idea. Someone went next to an idol and coins fell down from his pocket, and you want to pick up those coins. So don't bend down to pick up the coins like you bend down to the idol, okay? Use your backwards, okay? Use your back. Rather, one should sit down and then collect the coins, okay? Sit down, bay to the other side. Don't do things that people will look around you and will say, this Noahide person, but he is still, also worshiping idols. No, Noahide are not worshiping idols. And let's read also 23. It is best to refrain from eating and drinking food and drink that was used in an idol worship, and likewise to avoid eating fruit from the tree planted by idol worshippers with the intent of worshiping the said tree. Okay, a lot of time people are planting trees to worship them in an idol, and then we're starting to eat those fruits. It's a bit of a problem, and especially if they brought some fruit to the idolatry, and then we're using it, now we're eating it and everything else, and it's a holy food, something like that, with the imagination, as Ying said. The same applies to driving benefit from gold or silver used to coat anything used to in idol worship, and even to the ashes remaining after object used in idol worship were incinerated. Okay, a lot of time also they using the ashes, and we can use it to all sorts of things, especially to medicine things. We need to be far away. We need to be to go try to take as far as possible step away from those idol benefits, from those idol things, because as a Noahide, we don't want to give any honorable stage to any idol worship that is in this world. And those things are giving some sort of honorable to the idolatry worship. So we're trying to get far from it. But again, as it's written down here, it is the best to refrain from. If you're hungry, you don't have any food, and the only food that you're getting or you're managing to find is a food that was once idolatry food, so take it, wash it, and say to yourself in loud and clear words, I don't believe in this idolatry, but I need to eat something and I need to live. Therefore, I'm going to live and I'm going to eat it, not because I believe in this idolatry. So this is why we call it a proper conduct. A Hebrew person will starve himself and won't eat from those things. But Noahide don't need to starve himself. He is supposed to eat and to live. Therefore, it's a proper conduct. We finished this chapter next week. Next week we have a fast. It's a big fast of the Tisha B'Av, what we call, because we are remembering the day that the Temple Mount was destroyed 2,000 years ago. And the week after that, I'm in the United States with Rabbi Sherki in a Noahide conference. So the next coming 2 weeks, we won't have a lesson. And we will meet each other again another 3 weeks from now. If there are anything else, I have another few minutes. So if you want to add something, to ask something wasn't clear, don't hesitate. This is the time for that. But we can't hear you, Ying. You're speaking with yourself because you didn't open the mic.
Sorry, I forgot. If we want to eat, no, not want. If we need to eat the fruit, we have to pray to God first, right? If the fruit is pray to idol already, that you explained just now, we have to pray to God first, or we just thinking and say sorry to God and eat. Which one?
I will say it like that. You don't need to say sorry to God. You need to say something else. You need to take this food. If this is a situation, you don't have food and you're a bit hungry, and this is the only food yet you can find and everything else, I think what you need to do is to take this and to say to God, okay, pray, say a few words before you eat this food. I don't believe in this idolatry. This idolatry doesn't really matter for me. But God, I'm hungry. This is the food I found, and therefore I'm blessing you for giving me food, and I believe in you, God, and not in this idolatry. When you're saying this, you're taking this food out from the range of the idolatry.
Wow.
taking this food back to God, not thank you God for giving me food to eat, and I don't believe in this idolatry. I believe in you, God, who created this world, and please give me food every day in my life in an honorable way that I won't need to take it from the idolatry people. So also ask this from God. This is something that is giving much more powerful. It's not I'm eating this because I'm hungry and I have no other choice. On the other side, I believe in God, not in this idolatry.
Okay, and one when we go for งานศพนี่อะไรนะพี่อึ่ง
the people die.
When the people die, Thai people have to
Death ceremony.
when people die งานศพอะไรนะบุรินทร์พูดชัด
Death ceremony.
ๆ death อะไร
When
People,
people go,
the ceremony of when people are dying in Thailand, what
Yes.
is the ceremony is also idolatry? This is what you want to say to me?
No, we have to ลดน้ำศพ
we have
put the water to
the body or the
hand of the people who die. We have to put the water.
Pour the water to the
Pour
hand of the dead.
You're
The dead
putting water from the hands of the dead person. Where
Yes.
to? Where to?
For praying for forgiveness.
for respect the body.
No, but the
For
question
respect.
is this is an idolatry thing, or this is only something?
I think the Dorothy thing, because all when the Thai people die, they put in the temple and do everything for worship idol, because they believe the people die, the soul will protect. I don't know. Maybe they believe their soul around there, and we have to pray to them, pray for them. Yeah, everything for respect the dead one.
I will say it like that. No, I think that this is something that you need maybe to do some homework to learn exactly what is the situation in your country and what exactly is the ceremony. Everything that is respecting the dead person, his body, and behaving in a way that is organizing the body of the dead person to be in the ground and to put him in a grave and to put him to rest in peace. This is one thing. Everything that is related to the idolatry, okay, it's another thing. And this is where we need to do the definition and to understand exactly what is happening. So what I'm asking you, all of you, if it's okay, please prepare this a bit, okay? Go and learn what exactly is the situation and what exactly you are being asked when someone is dying. And this will help us to realize and to consider together what is the parts that is allowed to a Noahide to do, and what are the parts that we're saying as a Noahide, we want to do them differently. Okay? Now, especially, I'm saying, especially the thing is to know, to say that we want to do them differently. It's very important, because if you're coming to the authorities and you're saying to them, we don't want to do this, and you're not giving anything else that you want to do, the authorities usually are saying, don't bother us. We will do whatever we want to do and everything is fine. But if you're saying, no, we believe in something else and we don't want to do these things because for us, this is something wrong to do and we prefer to do the right things in this way, this is where the authorities capable to listen, okay? And we will manage maybe to do like we did in other places in the world, that there are ceremonies for the Noahide, okay? Or even cemeteries for the Noahide also, something like that. And this is and without any idolatry. So please do a bit of, I will say, homework to know exactly the ceremony, the parts of the ceremony, what parts of the ceremony are idolatries, what parts of the ceremony are just, helping or respecting the body of the person who died. And this will help us to build the right way of the Noahide ceremony in Thailand. Okay?
Okay.
Fair enough. No, but it's a problem because I was a high school principal for 30 years. So one of the things that I know what to do is when someone is asking me a question, he is getting a homework after that. So this is what happened here. Feel comfortable.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Not a problem, not a problem. Fine. So we're going to meet each other another 3 weeks.
Okay.
Be strong. Yes. I want to ask something. Yes. No. We finished. Okay.
Will and Jack, me night.
Yes.
Can we destroy Idol
Sorry?
by Abraham?
What is this?
The cartoon, right?
This is a cartoon of Abraham who is breaking down all the idols of his father.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we do like Abraham?
I will ask you a different question, okay? If you will do this thing, I have few questions if you're asking this thing. First of all, those idols are yours or someone else? The property, the idols themselves, who is keeping them? Who bought them? If they're your idols, do the same thing like Abraham. If they're someone else's idols, don't do this because it's like stealing from him. Okay.
Okay.
If it's your idols, if you're buying idols and you're breaking them, fine. Okay. So do some sort of a ceremony, show to others, do it on YouTube and tell everybody that you think, buy a few idols and do something like that. But if those idols, those are properties of someone else, so you're not allowed to take from him or to steal from him or to break his idols and everything else. Just tell him he's doing the wrong thing, but you don't need to take from him those things.
Cannot destroy the idol another one. I mean, if not belong to us, cannot, right?
I don't think that to destroy an idol of someone else is a right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's you can say you can go today. It's much easier. Go with your phone, with your device, and put yourself on YouTube and walk on the shop of these idols and say to everybody, nonsense, he believes in nonsense. Come on, there's God who created this thing. How come, or like Abraham to say, how come he is worshiping this tree and on the other side he's eating from this tree? I can't believe this. To do something like that, maybe people will start to open their mind. But to destroy or to do something actively that is not, to take a property of someone else and to destroy it and to do those things, I think that it's not the proper thing to do. We didn't learn yet, but we're going to learn this thing of not to steal from someone else. Abraham destroyed the idols of his father that he was responsible in his time. This is what he did. Okay, he did something that was in his responsibility. To go to idols of someone else and to start to destroy it, people will think that you are weird and will put you in jail. It's not worth it. But if you will go, okay, with your device, and you will say, people are doing nonsense. Look, they took a part of the tree and they worshiping this part of the tree. And on the other side, the second part of the tree, they're putting it inside the flame to get warm. So are they worshiping it or they are using it? How come they are using part of the tree and they're worshiping the other part of the tree? People are thinking normally. We got trained to think in a upside way. Just say a few words like that and then send them a link to the Noahide World Center, okay? To start to learn things, and this will open up the eyes of others without breaking physically those places, those things. You with me?
But Thai people, they think they have wisdom about this, because if they pray to idol, because the idol have the soul, vinyan, the soul from
Spirit.
from evil, from God, or from something. They think not just the wood, not just the tree, but they think have soul,
I
some
understand.
soul,
And this
the
is what
miracle.
I understand. But this is something that you can say to show people how much it's not a logic idea. It's only imagination. Because if they took part of the tree, okay, and part of the tree there, it said the soul of whoever, what it is, came inside it, okay, and the other part of the tree is something that I'm putting inside the fire to warm me when it's cold. So something here is weird with my ideas. What happened that the soul of this big thing came inside to this part and didn't came to the part that I burned? So maybe the soul came to the other part, and here is just, something without anything. You can say words that logically people will start to think maybe something here is weird. We are offering you to get connected with the Almighty God who created this world through the Hebrew sages. Go straight ahead to this, I think if I remember correctly, Lee, that we had also in the, let me show this for a moment, in the just a moment, in the site, we have also you can see my screen, right? You can see the Noahide World Center, you see it? Now look, you see we have languages. You see we have languages? You see here? We have languages?
English.
In the languages, Lee helped us, it's not mine. Look exactly what Lee did here. We have, as you can see, we have English, French, Polish, Turkish, Chinese. You see this Chinese, you see it? Now, you tell me what is the language that your people are speaking in, and we have no problem to have also, to put also, like we did, the Hebrew, Spanish, Italian, German, Lithuanian, Telugu, Brazilian, Russian. We can put also other languages. But if someone is putting or clicking here, you see, the Chinese, this is Lee, we can, okay?
Yes,
and
my speaking.
Yes,
Wow.
and you can send people here to do the Noahide self-declaration, okay? And we can organize it in the Chinese language as well, and everything else, okay? The 7 laws and everything else we can do. This we need to change to Chinese. Here it is, okay?
Yeah.
So say this is what I'm saying. Say a few words of Take the device, go to an idol place, say a few words against idolatry, and send them to the site, and more people will come to become part of your community. Fair enough? Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okie-dokie. See you all. Thank you very much. See you another
Okay.
2
Thank you
weeks.
so much.
Another
Bye,
3 weeks.
everyone.
Yes. Okay. Right. Don't bow to me. I'm just a normal
Don't
person.
bow. Okay, don't bow.
Just say thank you.
Thank you.